The chairman of the Caddo Parish Republican Party, Louis Avallone, is here. And I texted you yesterday afternoon, wanted to talk about it. You've heard this theory, right?
Oh, of course.
You have heard
Sure.
this. Here, let me read to you the original text that came on the heels of the Cedric Glover Facebook post that had to do with, well, Trump voters are going to vote for Perkins, and everybody hates Trump, so why would you vote for Perkins? And then I got this. I mean, that was the conclusion I drew from Cedric's comments. And Matt said, no, it might be a little more nuanced than that.
Right.
And we all know Cedric. He is capable. He's, no matter what you think about his politics, agree or disagree, you cannot disagree with his degree of intellect. And sometimes he is capable of being in your face, and sometimes he's capable of incredible subtlety. And Matt said, maybe he's a little more subtle here, little Bobby, than you realize.
All right.
So then we got this. I told Matt he was just full of BS. And then we got this text. I think Glover might also be referring to the fact that it was a group of Republicans. Let us point out once again, you are chairman of the Caddo Parish Republican Party. I think Glover might be referring to the fact that it was a group of Republicans who brought Perkins here to run in the first place. Let's start with that first sentence. Is that a fact?
The fact that the Republican Party brought Adrian Perkins.
A group of Republicans.
Okay, well, first, let's do just a couple of...
I mean, can you give me just a no?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You mean you can't give me a no, or you can?
No. The Caddo Parish Republican Party did not recruit Adrian Perkins.
What do you think they mean by group of Republicans? I'm not trying to squeeze you here. I just wonder.
Well, no.
I'm so fascinated by this, and I'm sure you are too.
But I think it's important to distinguish between registered Republican voters, or the actions of registered Republican voters, and the actions of the Caddo Parish Republican Party, because they are
two separate entities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So to the extent that there are registered Republican voters and or registered Democrat voters who came together.
Let me rephrase the question then.
Certainly.
Do you suspect, do you know whether or not it was a group of moneyed and influential Republicans outside the aegis of the Caddo Parish Republican Party who said, you know, we can't get a white Republican elected. Maybe we could get a black Democrat elected. Is he sort of a Manchurian candidate? Is he a plant? Is Adrian Perkins a plant by a bunch of rich Republicans here in Caddo Parish?
Well, I think you go back to February 22nd at the Petroleum Club party that was held in Adrian Perkins' honor. There was a local media outlet that attempted to go there, and they were thrown out of the meeting.
Pardon me, I've seen that video. I'm not sure thrown out is.
Well, they were ushered out.
Well, they were pretty.
And so to answer your question, in the video, the portions of the video that were made public, I didn't see anyone in that room that I would consider to be regular attending Republican Party types that come to the luncheons, that participate regularly in party activities, volunteer their time to recruit or to educate voters. So when you look at that and you look at that secret meeting, yeah, there were people in there that may have come together to bring Adrian Perkins to Shreveport, but we just don't know.
But if they were the ones who were behind the Perkins movement, then he certainly wouldn't be having to ask them for money in a public setting, would he?
Well, I don't know. It could have been, obviously, this was to raise more money by a group of people. But again, these are all, we're somewhat speculating, obviously, but I think you have to look at first, what is a plant? You ask the question, what is a plant? Well, a plant is someone that is put in place in order to mislead or to function secretly. And so who is Adrian Perkins functioning for secretly? That's your question, right?
My question is he functioning secretly for someone, i.e. moneyed Republicans in Shreveport?
I think that the group of folks who he is functioning for, if in fact that is the appropriate characterization, are Republicans and Democrats alike.
Odd you would mention that. Back to the text. I think Glover might also be referencing the fact that it was a group of Republicans who brought Perkins here to run in the first place. in cooperation with the usual old guard Shreveport Democrat leadership types. Who is the usual old guard Shreveport Democrat leadership types?
I think they are the folks, and again,
my first thought would be the Greg Tarver types. Is that unfair?
I don't know that he would be exclusive with respect to being characterized in that way. I think certainly people think of him. He has certainly served the community in elected office for many, many years. I think you all consider him to be a very powerful and influential leader in our community. But I think there are many others behind the scenes.
Well, if we continue to extrapolate what this text says, then there seems to be some sort of union, some sort of treaty, some sort of deal made between powerful Republicans and, according to the text, powerful Democrats who decided, you know, we need to bring a guy in we can get elected. What would be that deal? You know what? I'm going to ask the question. We'll go to break. You can answer when we get back. What would be the common ground between, the text refers to, powerful Republicans, and old guard Shreveport Democrats? What would be the common ground, the common thread that would make them come together and go searching for a mayoral candidate?